Hi everybody, I'm going to do a quick reminder of how to do domain and range. We are doing notes on this in class, but just in case this goes too fast in class and you need something to review, here's a quick video. So I'm going to do number 1 and 2 on your worksheet. You want to go ahead and follow along. So remember what domain means. Domain means we're looking at our X. So really what I'm focusing on right now is going across and thinking about these values across for domain. Okay, so I'm going to think about that now. And as I look, I can see the start of this function starts at the domain, the X value of 1. Notice I'm not even talking about up and down. Just right there, I can see that this point is at 1 over. So my domain starts at 1, and now it goes till, all the way till, let's see, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. It looks like it stops right there at 7. So my domain goes till 7. Now this isn't good enough to write 1 comma 7. This isn't a point. We're trying to say starting at 1 all the way through 7, it continues. But we need to put either brackets, which means included, or parentheses, which means not included. And we talk about that in class. So this point is colored in, therefore we are going to include it. This point is not colored in, it is also colored in, therefore we are also going to include it. Okay, so there's our domain. Now let's look next at our range. So I'm gonna erase this part that goes across because I no longer care about what's happening across. I care about what's happening top to bottom. Okay, so as I do that, I'm gonna go back and highlight the up and down, the Y's. Oops, that's not a highlighter. So this is the highlighter. Okay, so I'm highlighting the up and down. Now let's take a look at what numbers those are. So our range is always the Y value. So I'm looking, none of these Y's matter. And right here, we start to notice that the graph starts. And what value is that? Is -2. Okay, now I made a mistake. I want to show you that I shouldn't be starting at the top of the graph. I should really be starting at the bottom to top. So we'll worry about that -2 in a minute. Let's start at the bottom of the graph. The bottom of the graph looks like it's right there. Okay, that value looks like it's at the bottom, and that value is -14. So I'm going to go to -14, and we're going to worry about this number right here, -14. Okay, so -14 is the bottom number, and the top number, so I keep going up, 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 up right there, and we had talked about it before, is -2. So smallest to biggest, smallest to biggest. I am going to put brackets around here for the same reason I put brackets around the domain, because they're colored in dots. Okay, I'm going to do example 2 with you guys next. Okay, number 2. So now I'm going to go, and we're going to go back and highlight some weird options. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and highlight. I have to ignore this highlighting thing that's going on here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, and we're working on domain, so we care about these X's down here. Okay, so we care about these X's down here. Now I'm going to take a pen, and I'm gonna think about the leftmost X that I see. It looks like it's going by 3s, and the first X I care about is right there, 3. So 3 has to be my starting point, and now I'm going to keep going along the graph, and it looks like it stops right there at 24. Notice the numbers circled are on the X, the domain, the input, the independent variable. Now I'm either going to use these symbols or I'm going to use these symbols, and I'm going to decide which ones I should do. So notice here the dot is not colored in, therefore I'm using that symbol. On the other side, the dot is also not colored in, so I use the not included symbol. They don't have to match it. You have to look at each point individually. Okay, let's go back and highlight the other one now. So we're going to go back and worry about the y values. So now I'm going to go back and worry about these y values. Okay, when I go back and worry about the y values, let's start top to bottom. And I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm going to go top to bottom and look. And this looks like the first y that gets hit by this graph. And that looks like it is at a +2. I keep going, up, up, and it looks like the next one the last one that's hit by the graph is 14. Now, how do I know whether these are included or not included? Not included because the dot isn't colored in. Not included because the dot isn't colored in. Okay, so we're going to practice this in Monday's class, and then you watch this video, and you should have had plenty of practice to do the next 7 questions. So numbers 3 through 9 yourself. You can always stop by after the office hours to get help. Okay, shut this down and get to work. Bye, guys.